These guys are so skittish. These are all ducks except for that one closest to us. These are one goose. Come on. For them, we're using, I don't know if some of you remember this, but this actually that we're using for their house is what we used to keep quail when we did quail. And then we stopped doing quail, drug this up here with the pickup, and now they're using it. Ooh, that needs to be washed out. Filling this swimming pool for the ducks. So guys, I haven't made a video in a while, so I just figured I'd get on here and update you to the homestead happenings. I had many great plans for this summer, and I'm actually doing something that wasn't even on the plan, or I should say wasn't even thinking about remotely doing. But so you can see behind me the old farmhouse. This actually was an old moonshiner's house. I guess, does that count as farming, moonshining? I don't know. So this house has a very interesting history. It actually was trucked here from upriver. So this house wasn't even actually built on this property. But what you can see, a pile of old siding. And this is just the nastiest siding. It's like a fake brick. It actually has that grit and everything, kind of on a press board. See if that'll show up. So we ripped all that off, got excited because we're like, well look, hey, cedar siding. Not really in overly bad shape. The old farmstead red paint. And then we ran into some areas of patching. Now what this is, there used to be a window here, because this house predates indoor plumbing. So I'm imagining it was a bedroom, had a window there. Now on the other side of there is a bathtub shower. You can see the, right there. The window over the bathtub. And I know first thing people are going to do is point out the fact that you're supposed to stagger joints. I know that. I was a contractor for 19 years. So I do know the right way and the wrong way. But to do what you got to do, two things that are not in my favor on this project. Time and money. And I don't know, there's a running debate on which is worse, not having the time to do something or not having the money to do something. I don't know. I got this caulking, really good stuff called Quad caulking. I used to use a different brand, but didn't really like it. And this Quad, it comes in, you can either get water base or what would that be, acrylic base? Basically the stuff that does not clean up with water, but you have to be pretty quick with that stuff. One swipe and it's set over. So we're going with the water base on this. But back to the siding. Cedar is terribly expensive. They don't even make this pattern of siding. So I had to hand cut, spent hours on a table saw hand cutting all the cedar that I needed to do all the patches on this house. And I think what I'm gonna do, we'll see what time and money says, but what I would like to do is literally caulk underneath every single piece of siding, you know, along with every single joint. And you can see how I did the windows. I was fortunate to have this cedar, all this thin wood that I used for the windows and even the corners of the house. And then down at the very bottom, the belly band. So it cost me nothing. And I know, hey, I, like anybody else, would like to just rip out all these old windows and put in new double pane and new trim, possibly even avoid doing this hokey step. You can see that I have to have this board, because the old siding used to go underneath this. So I had to slide in new siding. So there's going to be this step. I'm going to try to be all decorative about it, as though it was somewhat planned, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. And I have no time and no money. That's what everything seems to go by. Not only did we embark on siding, but we've started to rewire, and we got to dig trenches. We're going to pull power from the street underground to the corner of this house. Then we're going to go over to that power pole where my shop is, and unfortunately that's where the power to our well takes off, which is probably 600 feet. Our well is from that building. So we got to cut through the driveway right to that power pole, and we're changing the location of our meter. You can see where we're gonna go into the house right there. I took the meter box off just so we could get it all painted and dialed. And this is sort of a working yay nay. We're really wanting to mix it up color wise, so I don't know. I'm kind of digging on that with the gray trim. We tried a different color trim, but it was kind of taupey, didn't like it. So far that's kind of what we're thinking. We tried some colors that might pop for a door, but I don't know. Those are a little bit too poppy for me. So this is what's happening with my summer, guys. It's all about the house. And we're completely ripping out all cabinets, putting in all new cabinets, wall-to-wall flooring, so we got floors being torn up. I got to get in the crawl space and jack up the center of the house. They never appropriately did that, after they moved this house. So the house, not severely, but it is sagging in the center. So we're going to get that jacked up. I haven't made any videos of this. I don't know. I guess for me, it's just what I used to do for work. And so it just sort of, I wouldn't use the word uninteresting, but I'm just like, people don't want to see that. So I really haven't filmed it. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people would. Up there, that square, that's where the old kitchen fan went in. Took that out. But power to something, who knows what. These are still live. I probably should cap them. So, one of them's live. I'm not gonna test it right now. More patches. All that patching. This right in here of interest is probably where an old coal chute. They used to have the coal chutes go into the kitchens. Well, I'm not saying every time, but it was pretty common. And so that's where, once again, guys, I know, straight joint. But the problem is with this older cedar is you start trying to stagger and do your cuts. That old cedar is kind of finicky and brittle. So it just is what it is. My hope is I get it all caulked up, primed. We're using an oil-based primer. Kilts, oil-based primer. And I'll give it 2 coats if I have to. I chose a day that was raining this last week and pressure washed the outside. It was pretty dirty. So just next on the agenda is to finalize all the nailing that I'm going to do all the caulking that I'm going to do, prime out the whole entire house, and get a coat of paint on it. And I'm hoping, guys, that protects it. We don't get, I know it's been raining for the last week, but compared to the Pacific Northwest, we don't really get that much rain here. We get a lot of snow, not rain. So if I were on the Oregon-Washington coast, I might do things a little differently, but we're a bit drier out here and a bit higher in elevation too. So that's it, guys. This is just a quick little farm update here in northern Idaho. So have a good one, and hopefully it won't be so long until I get another video. Bye.